Hi, my name is Sue Dishart. I am Vice President of Marketing and Development for Guiding Eyes for the Blind. This is a wonderful place to work, and it's a great mission. We're dedicated to enriching the lives of blind and visually impaired people by empowering them with a guide dog. They can travel safely, move independently, and they come here from all over the world with hope that we can make a difference in their lives. We also have a program called Healing Autism where we place guide dogs and service animals in the homes of families that have children on the spectrum of autism. The same goal, to provide some safety and independence for the clients that use our dogs. We're located in Yorktown Heights, New York. We're a national center here. A lot of people don't realize that right in their own backyard, we've got an organization that's providing service dogs to people all over the world. We use a lot of volunteers from Maine to North Carolina, but the main support of our volunteers are in our local area. Volunteers are an important part of what we do here at Guiding Eyes. We couldn't do the differences that we make in people's lives without them. People from Maine to North Carolina help to raise the dogs that become people's guides, and we start by the moment that they're born. Even before they're born, we have volunteers that live within an hour and a half of Guiding Eyes that foster our brood and studs that produce the wonderful animals that we have to place with people. Two of our favorite volunteers are Nina and Jeff Kellogg. They live in Katona. You may have seen them walking around with our wonderful foster moms.
This is Sable, and this is Haley. Haley is a retired breeding dog for Guiding Eyes for the Blind. She is the mom of 37 puppies, over 4 litters. She has about half of her puppies that have grown up to become guide dogs at this point. And we have Sable, who is what they call a breed eval. They have not quite determined what her career with the organization is going to be. So while they're deciding whether she's going to go into the breeding program and be a guide dog mom, or whether she's actually going to become a guide herself. She's living with us in Katona, and we're hoping that we'll find out soon what her career path is going to be with the organization.
The Kellogg's have individually raised a lot of puppies in their homes, and those puppies then go on to be placed with volunteers from Maine to North Carolina again, where they stay with the volunteers from the time they're 8 weeks old until they're about 18 months old. At 18 months old, then they come in for a training evaluation where we place them in our guide dog program. And they work for 6 months with qualified instructors. And from there, they learn all they need to do to keep somebody's life safe. And then when they're ready to graduate from that program and be placed with a blind and visually impaired person, we have those people come from all over the world and stay at our training center in Yorktown Heights. We match them with the perfect dog that will now be their teammate and life partner and help them cross streets and go on to make a difference in the world. And we celebrate the end of that with a graduation ceremony. And those graduations are held monthly and open to the public. And if you really want to have a wonderful day, coming and witnessing that graduation is a wonderful way to spend an afternoon. You can see more of our kennels and learn more of the programs we do and identify some ways where you could be a part of this amazing mission by coming to Yorktown Heights or giving any of us a call here. You know, there's a lot of people that have questions about our amazing dogs and how they're prepared to lead somebody who's blind and visually impaired or be placed in a home with children that have autism. A lot of that has to do with the training. It starts from when they're very little, and you can see that at our breeding center in Patterson, where we have dogs that are newborns from a few hours old all the way up until they're 8 weeks old. We'd invite you to come and see that. It's a wonderful facility, and you can go onto our website and request a tour of that facility. You might also run into some of our dogs walking around the neighborhood. We have trainers here that work with them in city settings and country settings to get them the skills that they need. So anytime that you see one of our guide dogs, feel free to ask the people that are working with them to see if there's any questions that you have that we could answer. The dogs are trained to stop at changes in elevation, and we'll show you some of the different techniques when we meet with the trainer later. Another person that you might want to talk to is any of the blind and visually impaired clients that we service. They're always our best ambassadors of the program, and they can always share their story of how the guide dog has made a difference in their lives. So become part of the mission here at Guiding Eyes. Get involved. Find out ways you can volunteer or donate or support our organization. And the best way to do that is visit. Come and see us. Be happy to give you a tour.
Hi, my name is Becky Barnes, and I am Manager of Consumer Outreach and Graduate Support here at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. And basically what that means is that I do a lot of outreach work to potential guide dog users, as well as the rehabilitation professionals who work with people who are blind or visually impaired. And I also do some public outreach with schools and scout troops and things like that, and wherever people need to be educated about Guiding Eyes and guide dogs in general. The other part of my title deals with our graduate community of probably close to 1,000, if not more, members. I provide support services wherever possible with our graduate community and do what I can to keep the lines of communication open between Guiding Eyes and our graduates. I've been here since 1999. I'm coming up on 13 years here. And with me is Lawson. Lawson is my third guide dog, and we actually just trained together in January. I got my first guide dog in 1995, a golden retriever female named Rowan. I'm one of those people who have been blind all my life, but had not really thought too much about getting a guide dog until mid-adulthood, actually. And part of it was that I really didn't have the information that people have now about guide dogs. And I just really had not thought about what it could do in my life to have a guide dog until I met someone who actually did have one and spent enough time with them to realize that having a guide dog could make a huge difference in my life. And believe me, it really did make a great difference in my life. And I'm very grateful to Guiding Eyes and just to have had the opportunity to have my third dog now.
Hello, my name is Megan Crowley, and I'm an instructor here at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. This is Crystal. She's a yellow female lab, has just completed her training here at the Yorktown campus. My job as an instructor at Guiding Eyes is to teach these dogs everything they need to know to safely navigate a visually impaired person to point A to point B. This includes stopping at up curbs, down curbs, safely crossing the street, obstacle work, and traffic training. While the dog is here with us for the 4 or 5 months, we do a lot of work in Peekskill, Katona, White Plains, and at the very end of their training, we even take them into Manhattan for a few days. Once their training is completed with me, we bring in a group of visually impaired people to be matched with the dog. They are matched on pace, how fast the person wants to walk, and what they do in their everyday life. Once the matches are made, the next 4 weeks are spent one-on-one with the student and the dog, teaching the visually impaired person how to use their new dog. We know a lot of the general public has a lot of questions about guide dogs, so feel free, if you see me or any of my coworkers in the Katona area, feel free to stop by, say hello, and ask your questions. Thank you.
Welcome to the Guiding Eyes for the Blind Canine Development Center. This is where our story begins. In a few minutes, you'll be seeing Helen West, who's one of our directors here, and she'll talk about the work that we do with the puppies that get them ready for their next steps.
Hi, I'm Helen West. I'm Director of Kennel and Colony Operations here at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. I oversee all of our breeding dogs, of which we have currently about 90. All of our dogs are bred here. And I also oversee all of our puppies, the future guide dogs, up to 8 to 9 weeks. And I oversee their development and very early socialization and training, which is paramount to them being successful as a guide dog. So here I have Adobe with me. He's ready to work. He's wearing one of our harnesses. One of the most important things we do is socialize them early to wearing things and being comfortable with having things on their back. It's going to be very important to him to be comfortable in the harness when he's working. And we're outside of the Canine Development Center at the Hockmeyer Hub, which was very kindly donated by Mary and Wayne Hockmeyer. And this acts as a huge socialization aid for us. It teaches the puppies to become very, very comfortable on stairs, which is another thing that's very important for them as guide dogs. They learn very early about proprioception, about how to use their bodies. We start them super early. At around 3 weeks, we start bringing them outside, and we put them on different underfootings and different slopes and hills, and let them learn where all of their parts of their body is. So they really do learn to have a good solid base and balance. We also do a lot of noise socialization for them. Babies crying, trucks, fire engines, all that kind of thing that they'll hear while they're working. It really helps us to start as young as possible. We build them in very small steps. We start them doing very small things when they're little for very short periods of time, and we build each step we build on top of the successful one before. We start working with them nice and early so that they can build confidence and really become a nice, steady, solid working dog later on in their lives. So this is Adobe. Adobe is 9 weeks old. So we've already started him with very small steps. We started him off with on the bottom step, just climbing up and down one step. Good boy. And we've built him up so that he can successfully and calmly traverse up and down a flight of stairs. Good boy, nice work. I'm feeding him a little bit of food as a positive reward. Good boy, let's go. Good boy, yes. Excellent job. What a clever boy. Very good job. Hi, nice work, buddy. You did a very nice job. Here we are under the tent. You'll see a different array of different objects under the tent. They're all fun items for the puppies to explore. It helps build confidence. We use passive exposure, which means we don't lure them or force them to check anything out. They are just open to check things out as they wish, and we find that this helps build their confidence in a slow and steady way. There are different noises in here that we will get them used to, so that when they get out working, anything that they come across, they won't be fazed by. Check it out. Good boy. Very good work. Good job. And we also have a variety of underfootings, which is particularly important because, you know, they'll be walking all kinds of different areas, from people from the city to people out in the country, all kinds of different underfootings, gratings, and things that they'll experience. What's this? So we like them to be comfortable on any kind of underfooting. What a good boy. Good job, buddy. We also, another very important thing for a guide dog is building self-control, and one of the ways that we do that is by what we call food bowl manners. And we start this, you can see he's already very good at it, and I haven't put any food in here yet. He, right from when they start eating solid food, they're taught to sit and wait for their food. We cue them initially with tapping the bowl, should indicate he'll sit, and as they get older, we'll build the duration they sit for. Free, good boy, and that helps to really build up their self-control, and that time that we expect them to wait will get longer and longer as they get older, and we'll expect to be able to put the bowl down and for them not to move until we give them the command that it's okay to go and take it. So the general purpose, the overall purpose, our goals of our early socialization and training program is that the puppy will be comfortable in both physically with being touched and handled, mentally by not being distracted by things, and have a nice, calm, steady working temperament. And by having them socialize from a very early age, we basically help the puppy to become so comfortable that when it's working as a guide dog, it can say, yep, I've been here, I've done this, I'm good with it.
We'd love for you to find out more about Guiding Eyes for the Blind. We'd love to have you learn more about us. So follow us on Facebook, tweet with us on Twitter, join us on our website at www.guidingeyes.org. And again, come visit us. We'd love to see you.
You're watching Lewisboro Community Television, Channel 20.